Hey Miami Lakers, and welcome to our daily COVID-19 update here in the town of Miami Lakes. We took 3 days off between Good Friday and Easter. We want to make sure that everybody had an opportunity to reflect, to spend some time with their family, and really enjoy that holiday. I know it's a difficult time, but having Easter is such an important thing. And I do again want to give kudos to the Youth Activities Task Force. In 48 hours, they would have put together an event where they went to people's homes and dropped off eggs. So kudos to Chair Tony Fernandez and the entire Youth Activities Task Force. So we're about to give you our daily update, but today we're joined by our special guest. We have Jose Bueno, who's the Region Superintendent for this area, for the North Region of Miami-Dade County Public Schools. Jose is also, Mr. Bueno is also a town resident, so he's somebody that understands our community a lot, and somebody who was a principal at HML for many years, so somebody that knows Northwest Dade like the back of his hand. And we'll get to Mr. Bueno now, Superintendent, Region Superintendent Bueno now in a second. Mr. Manager, with our daily update, estamos aquí para el update de todos los días del COVID-19, del coronavirus, nuestro administrador para darle nuestro update de hoy.
Hi, Miami Lakers. Just wanted to start with what I normally do, is just give you an update on the status of the virus in the town of Miami Lakes. We currently have 35 cases of confirmed positive cases in the town of Miami Lakes. This is an increase of 6 from the last time that we spoke, but remember that was 3 days ago, as the mayor mentioned, that we haven't updated you in 3 days. Friday we did give you a written update, but then in observance of the Good Friday and the Easter holiday, we left you alone for a little while. So we're at 35 cases. Again, that's not even 1/10 of 1% of our population. The one thing I wanted to mention today, our county commissioner made a request to us earlier this morning, and in conjunction with our neighboring cities of Hialeah and Hialeah Gardens, we all agreed that we would implement a curfew. I've been telling you for a long time that our major from the police department said that we didn't need it here in the town of Miami Lakes, but think of it as a regional approach. The county commissioner asked us, and in conjunction with Hialeah and Hialeah Gardens, so I've agreed to go ahead and implement a curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. for 10 nights. So starting tonight, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., there's going to be a curfew in the town of Miami Lakes in conjunction with the cities of Hialeah and Hialeah Gardens. Now, there are some exceptions to that, and we'll be coming out with the actual document later this afternoon. But exceptions are if you need to go to the grocery store, if you're actually a grocery store or an essential business employee and you're leaving late at night to get home, there are going to be some exceptions. If you need some emergency care of a loved one, those are going to be the exceptions. And we'll detail those for you on our website later this evening. So, en español quería avisar que como hacemos todas las veces que empezamos, hablamos de cuántos casos confirmados positivos hay en la ciudad de Miami Lakes. Hay 35 casos confirmados por el estado que son residentes de la ciudad de Miami Lakes. Esto es un aumento de 6 desde la última vez que nosotros hablamos. Nosotros hablamos el jueves. Han pasado 3 días, el aumento es solamente un promedio de 2 por día, pero tenemos 36 casos confirmados. Y también quería avisar que hoy, debido a un pedido del comisionado del condado, en conjunto con la ciudad de Hialeah y Hialeah Gardens, vamos a implementar un toque de queda empezando esta noche desde las 10 de la noche hasta las 5 de la mañana por 10 noches. A ver si en conjunto con las otras áreas alrededor de nosotros podemos por fin derrotar este virus.
So Miami Lakers, just repeating some of those major points. And again, make sure that you start submitting your questions now so we can get to them before we turn off the video. And I know we're about to turn it over to our Region Superintendent, Jose Bueno, who's here with us. But just a major point that our town manager talked about, there was a request made by our county commissioner in conjunction with the municipalities right adjacent to us. We will be having a curfew that will start today for 10 days, which according to experts, that's going to be the peak in this area. As you can all see, some of the zip codes in this area have really ballooned with cases. So again, I want to introduce our region superintendent, Miami Lakes resident. And again, we're here at one of the schools that he oversees, which is Miami Lakes Educational Center, the #1 magnet in the nation this past year. And right behind this, you see a meal distribution site that they're working every day to make sure that everybody is getting the food that they need. Mr. Bueno, welcome, Region Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And on behalf of our superintendent, Mr. Alberto Carvalho, thank you for having us.
So, Mr. Bueno, do you want to darle un update a nuestros residentes, an update to our residents in English and Spanish as to what the schools are doing? You could talk about the six schools here in Miami Lakes, the education, virtual learning, and I really need to give the district their props where it's due. The 4th largest school district in the United States. If they were a standalone district, one of the largest in the world, really. These folks, from one day to the next, converted on-site learning to virtual learning, which is a very difficult task. They were able to do it, so kudos to them for doing that. Mr. Bueno, so how's that going?
Perfect. Let me start off by saying that through the vision that our school board has and the leadership of our superintendent, we've implemented a couple of things, both for the whole entire district and obviously here for the North Region. For the North Region, we have approximately 3 or 4 centers. I want to say it's 3 centers. We have one at Miami Lakes here. We have another one at HML and Barbara Goldman that are feeding residents throughout the county. They're open from 4 to 7 Monday through Thursday. We will be doing something a little bit different next week, and we'll be letting people know about what we're going to be doing in reference to the feedings. In reference to the curriculum, we're full speed ahead. We've implemented the ICP. It's a 2.0, so basically students are interacting with our teachers either through Edmodo, through Zoom, Teams, emails. So students are supposed to log in on a daily basis in order for us to capture the attendance, and they do it through their portal. Parents, if there's any difficulties, any concerns whatsoever, please relay that to your principal, contact your principal. We are here to assist you in whatever way we can. If you can't get a hold of your principal or staff, please feel free to email us at the region. You can call us. We're always available. Students, that we also implemented the device where all students have a device if they didn't have one. Students, if your device gets messed up, broken, it's not working properly, please email your principal. Let your principal know. That's being done by appointments. It's from 11 to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon where you can replace your device. If you don't have a device and you need one, please contact us. We're still giving out devices. And that's about it, Mr. Mayor.
So, superintendente de la región aquí del norte, la parte en español, si puede hablar con muchos de los residentes, nosotros que hablan español.
Primeramente, perdónenme con mi español, voy a tratar lo máximo. Con la visión de la Junta Escolar y el leadership del señor Carvalho, el superintendente, nosotros hemos podido implementar varias cosas. Una de las cosas es seguir con la educación de nuestros muchachos vía el internet. Si sus hijos o hijas no tienen computadora, por favor, comuníquese con el director del colegio, la directora, para poder resolver esa situación. Si la computadora que tiene, que es de nosotros, se ha roto o no está trabajando bien, por lo tanto, comuníquese con el director o la directora también. La currículum del colegio todavía sigue. Los muchachos, estamos requiriendo que los muchachos tomen todos los días la asistencia por el portal que tenemos nosotros, a donde ellos hacen su asistencia. Tenemos 3 centers como este que tenemos aquí atrás, Miami Lakes Educational Center, que estamos dando comida para el público. Los 3 colegios son Miami Lakes Educational Center, Hialeah Miami Lakes y Barbara Goldman. So están bien strategized por el town de Miami Lakes. Cualquier pregunta, cualquier cosa que tengan, cualquier duda, por favor comuníquense con el director o la directora del colegio. Si no se pueden comunicar con ellos por X razones, nosotros en la región siempre estamos disponibles para ayudarlo en cualquier cosa.
Gracias, superintendente aquí del norte del condado, José Bueno, que también es un residente de nuestra comunidad de Miami Lakes y conoce esta área muy bien. If you have any questions about the school district, any questions en inglés o en español sobre el sistema escolar, lo que está pasando, start submitting them, empieza poniéndolo aquí en el chat, and we'll ask those of Mr. Bueno, who's been gracious enough to afford us the time today. Mr. Manager, I see some questions here that I'll be going to. The first one, and I'll answer this one. Mr. Cabrera, Alejandro Cabrera, he's disappointed that the bunny wasn't able to go to his home on Saturday. We do apologize about that. It was an event put on by your neighbors. I mean, people in our community who volunteered their time and put this on in 48 hours. So we do apologize if there was a hiccup along the way. That was nobody's intent. It was just many volunteers, people who live in our community that wanted to bring some joy and cheer. So we do apologize to you and your family. If you send us a message with your address, we'll get it to our folks at the Youth Activities Task Force. But again, on my behalf, the council, everybody, we apologize that we weren't able to get there. But again, it was put on in 48 hours by a handful of volunteers in our community who love our town and who are giving back their time. Mr. Manager, Isabel Hurtado, everyone entering any essential stores, do they need to wear a mask?
Yes. Anybody inside of the stores, supermarkets, the interior portion of restaurants, pharmacies, they all need to be wearing a mask, whether it's a patron or an employee.
En español, la pregunta es de Isabel Hurtado, si todo el mundo entrando en una tienda esencial, si se requiere que se ponga una máscara.
Sí, y la respuesta es que sí. Todas las personas que están adentro de cualquier negocio esencial tienen que tener una cobertura en la cara, aunque sean empleados o sean gente que entran a la tienda a comprar.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Maria, is it 10 days? And she is referring to the curfew. La pregunta de María Callado está preguntando por qué el toque de queda es 10 días.
Eso fue lo que pidieron, eso fue el pedido del comisionado del condado, fue por 10 días y queremos ver en los próximos, ellos esperan, los expertos esperan que los próximos días van a ser el tiempo peor para el virus y que queremos ver si hacemos un empuje grande ahora para estar seguros que podemos derrotar el virus.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. And this question is to Region Superintendent Bueno. Jeremy Cobb, Mr. Bueno, Jeremy Cobb is asking, how can we unenroll our kids and homeschool them instead? Y lo que está preguntando el señor Cobb, de nuestro superintendente del norte aquí de la región, cómo pueden sacar sus hijos de la escuela y empezar ellos por mismos, lo que se llama homeschooling, encendiendo en su casa.
Basically, what you need to do is contact your school principal, set up an appointment so we could get the documentation that we require. The principal will tell you exactly what you would need, and we can go ahead and withdraw your child at that point in time. And it shouldn't take very long. It should only take maybe a day or so.
Mr. Cobb, I hope that answered your question. And
again, if not, you can always email us. My email is jbueno@dadeschools.net.
Thank you, Mr. Bueno. Angie Carolina Ortiz, at what time the curfew, from what time to what time?
The times for the curfew, it'll start every night at 10 p.m., and then it'll end in the morning at 5 a.m. And it's for the next 10 nights.
So, la pregunta era de qué hora es el toque de queda, de las 10 de la noche hasta las 5 de la mañana, nada más que empezando hoy, pero por 10 noches nada más. Mr. Cobb is also asking, is the town still maintaining public lands and parks?
Yes. Yeah, we didn't want as long as most of that is done by our contractors, and we are still maintaining them. We are enforcing social distancing with all of our contractors, just like we would in any essential business.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Ana Andrade is asking, are you enforcing business owners in Miami Lakes to provide masks and gloves? I went to a place that serves food. The employees had no mask and no gloves.
Then if you see that, call the non-emergency police telephone number, and the police will go back out there and they'll do it to educate the business. Sometimes business owners, they've been too busy trying to keep their businesses afloat and they haven't stayed tuned with the news. We've tried to go around. We had police officers going around and educating all of the businesses. But if you see that, call the police department. It's not like you're getting them in trouble. Nobody's going to go over there and start tasing people because they're not wearing a mask. They're going to undertake a educational campaign, and they'll be sure that they understand that by the time they leave.
So, la pregunta era, han ido a diferentes sitios y han visto que donde están preparando la comida y no tienen una máscara puesta o los guantes.
Sí, tienen que tenerlo. So, si usted entra en un negocio y se supone que tengan todos los empleados la cara cubierta y no lo tienen, se puede reportar a la policía el número de no emergencia, no el 911, el número que no es de emergencia. Y la policía no va a ir y no va a empezar a arrestar a la gente. Van a ir para educar el negocio, para estar seguros que ellos entienden los requisitos de cubrirse la cara.
Claudia Lucis is asking, who's enforcing curfew and what would be the consequences if you are out after 10 p.m.?
Well, it's the same. Really, there's nobody out. I was out the other night. Unfortunately, we had a police incident, and I was out at, I think around on the way there, about 11 o'clock. There's not a single car out on the street. So the police officers would be the same one. They've been enforcing all of our parameters, the facial coverings, all of our orders. The police has been the one to enforce. So the police would be the ones enforcing the curfew.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. What do our trends, our COVID trends, look like in regards to phasing back to normal? I guess flattening the curve.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're there yet. We're right now. There's a projection model that they have for the state of Florida. I haven't seen it specifically for Southeast Florida, let alone for the town. But for the state of Florida, they project the peak of the curve to be in the around April 25th, 26th.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Miami Lakers, if you have any more questions, start submitting them now. We'll have about another minute before we do our closing statements and start wrapping up till tomorrow's update. I do again want to give some kudos to our Superintendent of Schools, Roberto Carvalho, to the Chair of the School Board, Perla Hammond, who lives here in the town, and to our Region Superintendent, Jose Bueno, who joined us today. And he's offering up his time to answer any questions that you guys might have in regards to the school system. They made sure that there are 3 sites in our community: Miami Lakes Educational, which we are here right now, Barbara Goldman, and HML, correct, that are serving as meal sites where every day you can come and pick up a lunch and the breakfast for the next day for your child here in the school system. So thank you guys for doing that. I know that has been, just as we've been here just for a little bit. I mean, you've seen the amount of folks pulling into this place, picking it up. They are here to serve you guys, and that is free of charge. That's part of the service that they're giving to our community. Again, he's offered up to call him at the region. Go through your principal. If you have any concerns, questions, you can give them a call at the region, and they'll make sure to get back to you all. Let's see if we have any other questions. So if somebody's out, Miss Luce is asking, if somebody's out, the consequences for somebody breaking the curfew.
Ultimately, like any of our emergency orders, it could end up resulting in arrest. That's not our intent. Our intent is to educate people. So similar to the facial coverings and other mandates, the worst case scenario, but we haven't had it yet. We haven't had it countywide. People are incredible. Our town residents have been incredible. That's the only reason why we're starting to see the leveling off of cases in the town, is because of our town residents. They've taken the social distancing to heart. They've maintained rigorous hand washing. They've maintained social distancing, not gathering in large groups, and all of the recommendations from the CDC. And that's the reason why we're on the verge of taking over this virus.
Y como dijo el administrador, hoy empieza el toque de queda por 10 días en nuestra comunidad, trabajando con nuestro comisionado del condado que lo pidió de nuestra ciudad, trabajando con la ciudad de Hialeah y Hialeah Gardens. Y lo que dijo el administrador, si ven a alguien que son las 10:30 y están pasando por la ciudad, la primera cosa que van a hacer es trabajar con la persona, educarlo que hay un toque de queda. Muchas personas van a haber varios días que no lo saben todavía. Eso vamos a estar, nuestra policía va a tener una fase de educación a trabajar con nuestra comunidad, y eso es algo que hemos visto aquí en Miami Lakes, que todos los residentes están trabajando juntos, y eso porque no vimos un peak muy grande de casos aquí en nuestra comunidad. So, muchas gracias a eso, y las gracias al administrador por trabajando con la policía.
Sí, y quería avisar, and I guess I wanted to announce that before we implemented this curfew, I spoke with the police department and wanted to make sure that this was not going to overwhelm their resources. And the way the police commander phrased it to me, he says, no, it's just another tool in our toolbox. If we need to use it, they could use it. And they've already been working with that frame of mind, that they have multiple tools. A lot of these emergency orders are tools that they have at their disposal. So it's not going to overwhelm them. It's something that they could use if they need it.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. We have several folks asking, Priscilla Carrillo and Vanessa Valdez, they're both asking, how many cases do we have in our community?
Yeah, as we mentioned early on in this briefing, we have right now 35 cases, and that's barely 1/10 of 1% of our population. So we have 35 cases. As of the state reports to us twice daily, at 10 in the morning and then a 5 o'clock briefing. So later on tonight, we'll see if there's any changes throughout the day. But as of the 10 a.m. report that the state provided us, there were 35 cases in the town of Miami Lakes.
Hay 35 casos de coronavirus en nuestra comunidad desde hoy. Desde hoy en esta mañana. Vamos a seguir hablando de esto todos los días. Ojalá que no haya muchos más, pero hay 35 en este momento. Nancy Rogers is asking how many numbers of deaths have there been in our community?
We have had 0. We have not had any deaths attributed to COVID-19 in the town of Miami Lakes.
Mr. Manager, we have a request from Ada Calderin Arguelles. Hi there, my daughter-in-law has her birthday this week. She's pregnant. She's a teacher and would like it would be a really nice gesture if a police car would pass by their home, I guess, with the lights on to celebrate their birthday.
Yeah, I mean, you could send the request to the police department. They are really focusing all of their efforts now on enforcement of all of our orders, as well as maintaining general welfare of the town. You could send it to the police department and ask the question. But I don't. It's a double-edged sword. I don't want it to be now an avalanche. Now everybody wants to have a police officer go by whenever their child has a birthday. So, then if we do it for one, we need to do it for everybody who requests it. So I don't think it's going to be possible. But you could ask the police department if that's possible.
Lillian Pinellas was asking the same question. Have there been any deaths? Si alguien se ha muerto en nuestra comunidad por el coronavirus.
Yeah, no tenemos ninguna información que ha habido ninguna muerte debido al coronavirus de los residentes de Miami Lakes. No reported deaths for town residents.
So thank you, Miami Lakers. Submit a couple more questions, but we're going to start with some closing statements in English and Spanish by our Region Superintendent, Jose Bueno.
Like I said earlier, if there's any concerns or questions related to your child's education and or any of the distribution centers that we have available to the community, please email the principal. If for whatever reason you cannot get through the principal, please contact our region. If not, we have a telephone number, 305-995-HELP. Please feel free to use those numbers. Our telephone at the region is 305-572-2800.
¿Lo puedes repetir en español?
Yes. Si por si acaso si hay alguna pregunta o duda en referencia de la educación de su hijo o hija, por favor comuníquese con el director o la directora del colegio de su hijo o hija. Si es en referencia de los centros de comida que tenemos 3, también comuníquese con el director. Si por cualquier casualidad esa comunicación no ha ocurrido, por favor comuníquese con la región o con los teléfonos que tenemos available para que usted nos pueda llamar. El teléfono de la región es 305-572-2800. Gracias.
Thank you, Mr. Region Superintendent. We really, really, really appreciate your time answering questions, talking to folks. I know you have one of the parents here saying, you know, that distance learning is very stressful. Obviously, it's a different system altogether. You know, folks who are used to going to school is a different process. So, you know, all of us are in this together. You know, so I know it's a major change in the way that these folks provide education in our community. But they're very accessible. Reach out to our region superintendent if there's any questions, comments, concerns. He's here to help. Mr. Manager.
No, just wanted to leave by saying, remember, there's going to be a curfew that's starting tonight. It probably won't affect many of you because most of the Miami Lakes residents have been doing exactly what's been told, which is to stay home. So also I want to remind everybody, continue with the hand washing and maintaining social distancing. And I think we see a little bit of glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel. We're getting close.
So I'm really, really proud of our community. You're starting to see people come together. The best of our society really pops up when the most difficult times. So thank you guys for coming together. We need to keep working together. Tenemos que seguir trabajando juntos porque vamos a echar hacia adelante sobre este problema. So we will get past this, Miami Lakers. Keep working together. God bless. Reach out to us if you need anything from our town council, our staff, administration, volunteers. We are here to help you. And again, call us 305-364-6100, 305-364-6100. God bless and take care. We will get through this together. Take care, Miami Lakers.